All right, so welcome back to the latest anime and manga news for the week ending July 27th, 2012, beginning with news that the CW, i.e. the American television channel, is looking into getting the rights to the Battle Royale novel. They want to make a TV series out of Battle Royale. There is a discussion with Roy Lee in the Wall Street Journal about attempting to make an American live-action version of Battle Royale, and saying the problem is that now these days everyone's going to assume it's a remake of Hunger Games, which it's not. But he said you just got to live with that. So this TV series adaptation, the LA Times reports, quote, could offer a new opportunity, picking up on the theme but in a different way, kind of like The Vampire Diaries found success even in the wake of the first Twilight movie. So that it is certainly possible. LA Times doing the original reporting on this with the talk with Roy Lee from the Wall Street Journal earlier on. So we might get a Battle Royale TV series. Then again, we are talking development hell at this point. They're still trying to acquire the rights. So who knows? That's kind of cool. Also, there has been a confirmation that there is a 5th season of the Hitalia anime greenlit. So sure enough, we will be getting more Hitalia at some point. We will see when, who knows. Funimation's been releasing the previous one, so presumably we'll be looking for more from Funimation. Meanwhile, DreamWorks, the animation studio, has announced that they're going to purchase the animation studio Classic Media for $155 million US. They will take on some undisclosed debt, but we still have until October 20th for the deal to close. Why am I talking about this on Anime and Manga News Show? Because they have the rights to Voltron and Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs, the original Godzilla film, other Toho live-action titles, so forth and so on. And they have quite a lot of other things in their stable, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, other things like that. So basically, this is an acquisition of a company with some serious stuff. The DreamWorks Animation's president and CFO Lou Coleman said, quote, "As part of DreamWorks' ongoing diversification strategy, this acquisition combines our hit-driven business with Classic Media's extensive and sustainable library revenue stream," end quote. So basically, they're acquiring this because, you know, they've got a bunch of solid titles in their stable. So not a bad thing, and good to hear that owning some anime is a good thing to companies like DreamWorks. In a slightly more ecchi note, Digital Manga has announced that their Project H books imprint, not Project 8, Project H book imprint, which basically publishes hentai manga, has acquired 20 new volumes of hentai manga, licensing a variety of different things, including the hotly anticipated, let's see here, what was it, Ring Mama. They're going to bring over here. So that's kind of cool for those of you who are into such things. But, you know, it's an indication of the popularity of this, that there are folks doing actual, you know, licensing porn. You know, that sells, so fair enough. Also in manga news, Masashi Kishimoto, who does this little manga called Naruto, I don't know if you've heard of it, he previously stated that there's about 1.5 years left of Naruto. Unfortunately, in a recent interview, he said, yeah, it's not going to work out that way. He's got more story to tell, so we can expect it to move on for longer. So expect Naruto into 2014 at this point. Who knows how much any longer. Also in manga news, a group called the Atomic Bomb Survivors Seeking Peace and Security Group has asked the Board of Education of Hiroshima to stop using Barefoot Gen in the city's Peace Studies program. Basically, so Barefoot Gen is a very famous manga that's semi-autobiographical about a boy growing up who lived through the bombing of Hiroshima, the atomic bombing. And it's been criticized in some cases for being a little one-sided. And this group has basically said it is one-sided, and that they said, quote, "It is important to choose materials that are neutral politically and ideologically," end quote, for these studies. So basically they're saying, you know, as much as Barefoot Gen is sympathetic to the Japanese side, it's a bit too sympathetic, if you will. which is kind of interesting. So basically, here's a group asking that Barefoot Gen be not used to educate children about this particular subject. There are other things that are more neutral. Who knows? The Board of Education said that they hear that, they've taken that into consideration, but there are no decisions planned at this point. So basically they said, that's a point of view, thank you for letting us know, and we'll see what happens from this point on, but no indication that's actually going to change. We'll see. Moving on to some lighter news, the official website for Robotics Notes, the latest visual novel from the group that made Chaos Head and Steins Gate, has posted that yes, there will be a television anime version, and there's a promotional video posted now with the anime's staff and cast lists. So yes, that is certainly moving forward strongly, so that's pretty darn good. This is the third, quote, science adventure game, end quote, set in an alternate future after the destruction of Tokyo's Shibuya Ward, or Shibuya District, rather. So, kind of interesting. So yes, we'll be getting an anime out of that. Meanwhile, Kyoto Animation has taken kind of the Studio Ghibli route and opened their own store. So there is a Kyoto Animation store, and they recently released a 30-second animated commercial for their store. So if you're interested in picking that up, you can go to the Kyoto Ani store, presumably near their studio in Kyoto. So you have to go all the way out there, unfortunately. Finally, some fun news. There was a broadcast of Summer Wars on at 9 p.m. Last Friday in Japan, and it got a lot of tweets. There were many, many, many tweets, an average of 341,000 tweets every 5 minutes about Summer Wars while it was being aired, with a total of 7.8 million tweets. The one that got the biggest surge was, and this is what I found really awesome, at the end of the movie, lots of folks tweeting, "Koi Koi!" So that's pretty darn cool. Other words tweeted during the broadcast of Summer Wars: Kazuma Hanafuda, Richi, Wabisuke, Love Machine, King Kazuma, Avatar, Oz, and Natsuki. So that's pretty cool. Also, during and the other interesting thing is that there were also broadcasts of My Neighbor Totoro and Spirited Away recently, and this actually generated more tweets than either of those movies. So that's pretty darn cool. So good to hear that a fine movie like Summer Wars is getting that kind of attention. So yeah, that's all the news fit to print this week. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you all next week. Take care.